Walk late, can't find anything. Probably left my keys in the car again. I'm in a haze, but that's okay. It's okay, it's okay. Half did I spill my coffee? It's a good day if it's not on me. I don't take it too serious. I ain't got no cares, no worries, no rush, no hurries. It's just life. I ain't got no cares, no worries, no rush, no hurries. It's just life. What you get is what you see, and I'll always be authentically yours. What you get is what you see, and I'll always be authentically yours. Authentically yours.
Good afternoon. And thank you, Mr. DJ. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your patience and your kindness, for sharing your hearts and your presence here this afternoon. We truly do appreciate it. On behalf of the South African Congress for Early Childhood Development, I would like to call upon the lady who is, and I know she's got a title in your eyes, but to me, she's my sister, my mother, my friend. Please put your hands together for Annette Robertson.
Thank you, Mujahid. So my name is Annette Robertson, and I am the, the training coordinator for our provincial POB, National South African Congress for ECD. Ooh, my nerves, you know, it's like, it's going like this here, guys. But anyway, I'm going to settle now. So first of all, I'm going to introduce you to our team. This is the first time ever that we are gathering as a group. Can you believe that in 18 months, this is what COVID did to us? Okay, so I need to introduce this amazing team to you that kept everything together during the COVID session for us. Okay, so first of all, we're going to introduce you to our amazing leader. Okay, new mic. Okay, she's here, Theodora Latuli. And she is our provincial chair lady. You can do better than that. This is our leader, guys. Okay. Next up, we have our secretary, and her name is Karima Jacob. Then we have our assistant secretary, and she is Zanele. Next up, I'm sure it is Yumna Ali, and Yumna is the money lady, our treasurer. We also have an assistant treasurer, and her name is Alicia. Then we have Jean-Marie de Villiers. Jean is one of our additional members. But Jean is as part of the furniture of SA Congress already. For those that have been with Congress for a long time, Jean has been with us since forever. Okay, so is that it, Pastor? Oh, wow. Okay, that is all for our provincial side. So we are honored to have a national representative here with us. So put your hands together for our National Deputy President, Melissa Jacob. So can I just have, no, okay, no word, okay. So can I just ask you to put your hands together once again for this amazing team that's leading us here provincially. Okay, so thank you, ladies. So next up, as with everything at Congress that we do, we believe that we need to start our day with a prayer. Okay, so with no further ado, we're going to call on Pastor Latuli to just come and do the opening prayer for us.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, everybody. Molweni. Eyami indima incinci imfutshane uba ndivule nje itheko nomsebenzi. Thank you very much. Mine is a very short point, and that is just to open officially. But before I do that, I just want to share one or two thoughts, if you would allow me. We gather here today under bittersweet circumstances. Bitter because we've lost fellow comrades. We've lost those who were in the struggle to put the child first with us. And it's a beautiful opportunity to commemorate, to remember them. It's sweet because it's the first gathering after a very long time that this sector, and I'm very proud to be associated with this sector, and very proud to be my wife's husband. And I know a little bit about the struggles that the sector is facing. I know that it has not been easy, and it's still not easy. But allow me just for a few minutes to reflect upon the lives of those who've passed on during the COVID, because that's why we are here, to honor them and to honor their contribution to the sector. I'm reminded of a very special man in sacred scripture, in what we call the Bible. There's a man, very special man, who at the end of his life said the following words, very powerful words he said. He said, "I have fought a good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith." And I think as we reflect on those who have passed on in the last while in this sector, let us agree and let us honor them for fighting the good fight. Now, I don't want to get into a preach. I'm in a preaching mode. I feel like a good preacher, but I'm not going to because of time constraints. But I want to say the following. I like that he says, "I have fought a good fight," as if to say, there are fights that are not good. There are fights that we must avoid. There are fights that bring disunity. There are fights that cause people not to speak with the same voice. There are fights that cause people to have issues with each other. But he says, I fought a good fight. And I believe that those who have died in the last while were in this fight. You see, our Creator has created every human being in such a way that we need a cause. Do you understand what I'm saying? We need something to believe in. We need something to really have a purpose for. And then I believe that as you gather here today, you have a cause and a purpose. And that is to ensure that every child will experience this foundation phase. Every child will be set up for the future. Every child will not be denied the opportunity to learn. And one very, very, very clever man told us on Saturday that studies and research have shown that this phase, early childhood, is the most important in a child's development. Not when they're in high school, not when they're in primary. Foundation phase is the most important. So I want to encourage you today. It's not easy. I'm sure you have your struggles with various things, which I'm not going to go into now. But I want to encourage you to keep fighting the good fight. Keep fighting the good fight. Stand together. What you do is like what I do. We didn't choose it, it chose us. It's a calling. Do you understand what I mean? You don't choose this. It chooses you. Because you've got to have a love for the children. You've got to have a deep conviction within yourself that every child deserves to learn. And then, last but not least, he says, I finished the race. I didn't stop halfway. I didn't get out when things were difficult and I didn't have enough money maybe, and I didn't stop. That's what this wonderful man said. I fought the good fight and I finished the race. And I want to encourage you, don't give up. Don't give in. There will be challenges. There will be difficulty. Stay in the race. The people that have passed on, they stayed in the race until they couldn't anymore. They were still fighting the good fight. They were still in the race. And lastly, keep believing. Paul, the Apostle Paul said, I have kept the faith. You've got to keep believing that things will become better. You've got to believe that SA Congress will make sure that things become better in the sector. You've got to believe. We've got to believe that things will become better. Thank you very much for your time. As you sit, as you are sitting down, Almighty God, most merciful, most gracious, most kind, we gather here today to celebrate, not to mourn, for we want to look at the contribution made by those who have passed on in this time. We are sad because of the circumstances around COVID. We couldn't even go and be with their families and loved ones when they passed away. Almighty God, we thank you for the contribution they have made to the ECD sector. And we want their families and everybody else to know what they have done was not in vain. They have fought a good fight. They have finished the race, and they have kept the faith. Bless SA Congress, bless the leaders, the POB. Almighty God, I pray especially that you give them one voice. You give them unity. You give them the ability to stand together. And you give them a spirit that is able to overcome anything that wants to bring about disunity. Because when they stand together, then the rest of this SA Congress body will also stand together. Bless those who have prepared this beautiful occasion. our thoughts turn to the families of those who have passed on. We ask, O God, that you will give them comfort and strength in these difficult times, and that you will be with them and embrace them in their pain and their sorrow. It's never easy to lose a loved one. We think of the many children, O Lord, that are entrusted to them, especially to this body that is here today. We want the children to be first in all that we do. We are called to make sure that they have a better and brighter future. Bless this occasion. We prayed all in your name. Amen. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the floor. It is your chairlady, Theodora Lutuli, to do the official welcome.
Amandla. Viva SA Congress, viva. Viva SA Congress, viva. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Bishop Lutuli. Much appreciated. Thank you very much to everybody that felt the need to be here. As you've indicated, it's a bittersweet moment. But for us today, we want to lean more on the sweet side, so that even when we reflect and look back, we are able to keep the good memories of our loved ones who walked with us, who fought a good fight with us, who ran down the streets with us. This is the moment. I am mostly touched and emotional, not because I'm seeing all of you here, but when I look across the room and realize that for the first time, this is one of those events that are keeping us together as a sector. The reason why you are wearing the different T-shirts, we are representing what ECD sector is about. Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished comrades and dear mourners, and everybody, those people that are connected with us, far and near, in spirit, we feel you, that you are with us. A very good morning. Assalamu alaikum, molweni, and goeiedag almal. Right. I've been given a mammoth task, and that task is to give the background to today's event. And I'm hoping and wishing that I will do the best that I can, because you trusted that I am in a position to do that, my fellow comrades and POB. Since 2019 to date, we've been going through the most. Personally, business-wise, and otherwise. Much has happened. And the sad part, because we had to be observant of the protocols, we could not even be there for each other to say that your pain is my pain. Everything that we did, we only did it virtually. And as a people, we do understand that sometimes when you feel a particular way, you need that person that will come close to you and give you that squeeze. And that squeeze becomes so meaningful that you don't even doubt, you don't even look around. A person does not even have to give you a 10 rand or 20 rand, but by being there and giving you that squeeze, it is good enough to say that I know that I've got people around me. So today is that day when we are saying, when we could not be with you then, let us make today so special. And also say that those fallen heroes are people that were with us. Those fallen heroes are people that mean so much to us. Those fallen heroes are people that mean so much to the sector. Those fallen heroes are people that have made so much impact, not only in us as adults, but in the young children of our beloved country, South Africa. Our slogan is simple. It says, putting the child first. Sometimes we struggle to do that when we are faced with our own pain and emotion. And today we are saying it is okay to feel a particular way. It is okay to find yourself in a space where you don't know whether you are coming or going. It is okay to raise your hand and say that I need help. It is okay to reach out to somebody. We're supposed to be there to be pillars for each other. We're supposed to be there to be that comfort and strength for one another. As I have indicated, we are going through the most. But what we can do for one another is to really be that support. It can be done. And today is about that. Relationship building, the networking that we have done. Now we need to retain and preserve what we have. And going forward, this can be done. Because remember, with everything that has happened, whether it is a loss of a loved one, the impact of that goes deeper than what we can imagine. When you have to go and face those children, imagine if you have lost a child and you're having to go and face other people's children, you've got to speak to yourself daily that this too shall pass. And this is what you remind yourself of. Is it real? It can't be real until you seek professional intervention. If you cannot do that, we are here for you. We are here for you, and we are here to say that whatever that you are going through, let's go through it together. When we do it together, then the pain is not as deep. With these words, I would like to say, if I was going to be saying this in my own mother tongue, which is isiXhosa, I would probably be saying something like, khululani ibhatyi zenu, niziqhome, nihlale phansi, sonwabe. Ne? In isiXhosa we say, you take off your jacket. You just hang it there. We sit back and we enjoy the moment. We enjoy the moment together, because as a unit, when we stand together, anything and everything is possible. I thank you.
All I'm going to say is, Bishop Latuli for ECD President. Well, are you with me? Are you with me, guys? With his sidekick on his side, by his side. Thank you so much, Pastor. Beautiful words. Just before we move on, Mujahid, I just want to acknowledge our guests that are here. We have Tufa Umdele from our Directorate Social Development. We also have my boss, Tracy Fortune from the Early Learning Resource Unit. That's our director, as well as Auntie Maril Dia, household name in ECD until Marodia, tape from the Grassroots. What are you on? Educational Trust. Okay, so let me just see where we are at so Mujahid, I think you will have to come and introduce the song. So we will now have an entertainment, and Mujahid is the one that knows which song is up next.
Thank you very much. So, first and foremost, I would like to say a big thank you to Theodora Lutuli, simply because the words that you echo, it touches people's lives, and that is the most important thing. Because when we touch the lives of the people inside here, we automatically touch the lives of the children who matter. So, what I would like to say about this person who I'm going to introduce, she has been a part of South African Idol. She came third in season 7, and she has been performing all over the world. Now, like you, who have been inundated with different challenges through the lockdown and through COVID-19 coronavirus, we as artists, we have been affected in the most drastic way. So she has been able to sustain herself and live because she travels overseas and performs on the Canary Islands, etc., etc., etc. She was obviously forced when they went into lockdown overseas. They were forced to come to South Africa, to come back home, to be here. And obviously for the last, let's say, 2 years, we have not been able to work like we want to work. So this next song speaks about the words that we were echoing and how I felt it was appropriate for this lady to come and perform the song for us. Please put your hands together for a dynamically talented vocalist. Ladies and gentlemen, Krishanda Forbes.
There ain't no gold in this river that I've been washing my hands in forever. I know there is hope in this water, but I can't bring myself to swim when I am drowning in this silence. Baby, let me go easy on me, baby. I was still a child, didn't get the chance to feel the world around me. I had no time to choose what I chose to do. So go easy on me. There ain't no room for how things have changed when we are both so deeply stuck in our ways. You can't deny how hard I've tried. I changed who I was to put you both first, but now I give up. Go easy on me, baby. I was still a child, I didn't get the chance to feel the world around me. I had no time to choose what I chose to do. So go probably doesn't even show. Go easy on me, baby. I was still a child, didn't get the chance to feel the world around me. I had no time to choose what I chose to do. So go easy on me. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Stay with us. Krishanda, come back. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me just to say, if that voice and that talent and that lyrics doesn't come from God, then I don't know. Ek staan daar agter, I'm standing there, I'm thinking, only God can give that kind of talent. So, without any further ado, I'm going to do a slight change. And almal ken vir my al hiervoor. Julle ken mos hoe week my hart. Firstly, let me just say that we were supposed to be on level 4 load shedding. Do you remember that? Then things changed. And I said to them, always remember, when you're doing something that is right, it can never go wrong. So, I want you guys to understand what this means to us as entertainers. Die geleentheid, this is an opportunity, this is a pleasure, and this is a privilege for us as singers. Now, I'm going to do this slight change because I feel that it needs to happen now. The words are sitting on my heart, and that is why I'm going to do this change. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call up another finalist of South African Idol Season 2. She came second that year. Please put your hands together for Miss Nazneen Lehman.
Good afternoon.
So we're going to do a song that we know you guys will enjoy and love. So ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy. Suko, thank you.
Never thought I'd feel this way. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm glad I got the chance to say that I do believe I love you. And if I should ever go away, well then close your eyes and try to feel the way we do today. And then if you can remember, keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me. For sure, that's what friends are for. In good times and bad times, I'll be on your side forevermore. That's what friends are for. Well, you came and loving me. Now there's so much more I see. And so by the way, I thank you. Oh, and if I should ever go away, well then close your eyes and love to feel the way we do today. And then if you can remember, keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me. For sure, knowing you can always count on me for sure. That's what friends are for. In good times and bad times, I'll be on your side forever. That's what friends are for. Keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can always count on me for sure. I don't mean for sure. That's what friends are for. In good times, in bad times, I'll be on your side forever. That's what friends are for. Count on me for sure. Count on me for sure now. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on and count on me. Count on me for sure. Count on me for sure. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was straight from my heart, I must say. And I know it was from theirs as well. So right now we're going to ask that we place ourselves into situations sometimes that we feel, it's not that we can't, we feel that we can't. And sometimes we just need that push or that wisdom of words to say that, no, this is not the dead end yet. We can push further than this. And I know that it has been a very challenging time for all of us. But I can guarantee you, because God says He will never place on you what you cannot handle. So I guarantee you that despite the challenges that you are going through, everything will be okay. I can guarantee you that everything will be okay. Without any further ado, before I come back and say my bit, I want to call on the National SACECD Deputy President. Please put your hands together for the beautiful, beautiful, lavishing, stunning, gorgeous, sexy. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Melissa Jacobs. Oh, my love.
Thank you, my baby. Yeah, I don't know why I'm put off the Mujahid, because he does this to us every time. He brings us to tears. Because I'm fortunate it's not the first time that I'm hearing him sing, and it's not the first time that I witness his passion for us. And yeah, let me first be decent and greet everyone. And I hope that today would, like everyone is saying, will make us think of our loved ones. And yeah, we have lost loved ones. And before COVID had started, where we knew people in another province maybe. And then we knew friends of friends of friends. And then we knew friends. And then it came closer. And then we knew family. And it was, yeah, we almost probably, I unfortunately lost my daughter and my son-in-law. And that was a very stressful and still is a stressful period. But let me say, my mandate is not to speak about my family today, but to speak about SA Congress. SA Congress with a very proud vision of saying our vision is access to high quality, intersectoral,
holistic and integrated ECD system. That started in 1994 in Port Elizabeth. We are fortunate to have still a few of our then stalwarts of South African Congress, and I will now speak to Mrs. Maraldia Tape, who was part of forming SA Congress in 1994. And also, SA Congress came from quite a few, if not all, ECD organizations back in the day, prior to 1994. And with the birth of SA Congress, we already started with advocacy and lobbying. Lobbying for government to take note of what ECD is all about. That early childhood development, that all of a sudden everyone is wakening up to now. That they're realizing now that the foundation is so important. Wow, we've been saying that for years. Yes, and we remain the Cinderella sector of the country. We always got the handouts, the leftovers. We were the Cinderella sector. And we remain the Cinderella sector. And we will remain the Cinderella sector until we realize that we are queens and kings. We have to realize that we are the queens and kings of ECD. We are no longer Cinderellas. We have to get out there. We have to do our job. We have to fight. And if I can just say something that Mr. Rex Molefe said as he left the hall that we attended Grassroots graduation on Saturday, and I actually went home and I thought about it. And we were speaking about quite a few things, but one thing he said before he left, he said, you know, Melissa, I don't want this fight to be where someone walks past my grave, a youngster, walks past my grave and spits on it and says, why didn't you make the difference? And that is what he said. And that is what we've been trying for years, was to make the difference. We were trying to be the difference. And SA Congress has always been at the negotiating table. We have never left the negotiating table. Since 1994, we've been negotiating. We are still negotiating. We negotiated the stimulus package with Nectar, Bridge, Ilifa, Labantwana, and a few other, and the Nelson Mandela Foundation. We negotiated the stimulus package. Yes, there were quite a few hitches, and still quite a few hitches, because I'm sure someone is going to ask me, where's my money? I don't have it. I don't have it. But what we can say is that it is there. The money is there. There's hitches, but the money is there. It just has to be sorted. Right, Ms. Amdulay? Yes. Right. So, yes. So, that was one of our successes during the COVID period. Yes, we say we don't need it now. We're working again. But I can do with it. It's nearly Christmas. I can do with it. We can always do with the extra penny. We can always do. So when we think of what is SA Congress all about, it's about you, the practitioner. It's about leadership within the sector, and it's about government. It's about NGOs. It's about networking. It's about bringing everyone together with like-minded thoughts, all right? We might have a different route, but our destination is all the same. Our destination will always be the same. If we are at the crossroads, then I'll tell you, get out of our sector. Because you shouldn't be at the crossroads. You should know where you're heading to. Once you're in the sector, you should know where you are heading to. And we can only be heading to greatness. We can only be heading to greatness. And that is what SA Congress is all about in a nutshell. Because for me to say exactly what we do, my time is not enough. My time is not enough. But I also just need to quote what our CEO, Mr. Leonard Saul, said. This sector has lost years of experience, knowledge, compassion, commitment, and institutional memory in ECD, especially at grassroots level, unquote. And he was referring to the people, the leaders, practitioners that we've lost, parents that we've lost in our sector. And when we talk about our sector, we don't only speak about those working within the ECD workforce. A parent is part of our sector, because without a parent, we won't have any children. So they obviously the main people in our sector. So whenever we see a pregnant lady, we must say thank you to her, because she is keeping us alive. She is keeping our sector alive. But if you see me pregnant, please shoot me, that's a problem. Right. So, like I said earlier, we are all about negotiations. And if we look at Department of Social Development, and we look at, especially at our provincial Department of Social Development, we were extremely proud to be part of them. When when Ms. Jolinda Kruger was part of the ECD Directorate, she was the first director in the Department of Social Development, and that woman worked hard. She dedicated her time to ECD. And lots of changes that is coming about now. It's changes that she introduced via Congress. We always had an open door with her there. And I'm proud to say that legacy of hers lives strong within ECD. But I'm just as proud to say that people who followed her within the ECD sector, within DSD, and we are fortunate to have Ms. Hamdullah here too, she fought just as good. And she also fought our battle, still fighting by the way, our battle. And we are very appreciative of that. We are extremely appreciative of that. And then when we're looking at the function shift, and that has always been on the cards, that ECD belongs to education, which is right. We do belong to education because we are educators. We are teachers. We're not caregivers, care workers, or all the funny names that they give us. We are teachers. We teach. There's no other word for us. We are teachers. A piece of paper does not determine whether you're a good or a bad teacher. So, let me say, and I don't know if it's going to be in closing, but at this stage, let me say to Ms. Hamdullah that you also carried our flag, and you carried it high, and we're proud of you. With Mr. Charles Jordan, they understood us. And when I look at the NGOs sitting to my right, Alro, Grassroots, and so many other NGOs that have supported ECD, and they went way beyond the calling of their own duty, and especially during the COVID period. They were able to assist us, be it food parcels, be it anything. They were there. With PPEs, they were there. And we're proud to say Congress was also part of that. Not at our Western Cape, because somehow or other Western Cape seem to be very rich in NGOs. Very rich in NGOs. So in the rest of South Africa, SA Congress was very instrumental in assisting quite a few people. In training, SA Congress does training as well. So when we look at, and I often look at minutes of, oh, Jana Jean, back in the day, way back in the day, when we had Ismaili, we had minutes speaking about career pathing. We had that minutes. It was always part of a conference, career pathing. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to say that soon level 5 will be a university entry. You will be able to study further. You will be able to be that teacher on a piece of paper. On a piece of paper. But once again, let me come back and say, we are teachers. We are born teachers. That is what we are. Okay? So don't forget that. So on this day, yes, I started a bit teary, but let me say that Congress acknowledges the battles. Congress is very aware of the battles. And at every table, every opportunity that we get, every policy, as we are sitting, Eastern Cape is having a conference with the new Children's Act, the amendments to it. And every province has the opportunity to give their input. And be assured that at every province, ECD is well represented and well represented by SA Congress as well. We also make lots of commitments, but we stick to it. We fight for it. It might take years for us to reach an outcome, but once again, we stick to it. So ladies and gentlemen, on this day, I want to express the national office's condolences to those of you who have lost loved ones. And we hope that the road ahead will be with less troubles, but personally I know it's going to take some time. So to all of you, thank you for coming. Thank you, Lady Chair, for allowing me this opportunity to speak on behalf of the National Office. And I would like you to enjoy the rest of the day. But before I leave this mark, I need to say that our singers, they are special. They are special. And like Mujahid said, that they're here because God placed them here. And we are so proud, Mujahid George. I'm proud to know you and to have been part of your success. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
So I was tasked with something, and that was to motivate. And it's a simple thing. To motivate is to tell someone, life doesn't end here, you can carry on. It is, the music motivates us. If we look outside now, and you see an old granny crossing the road, and then you tell yourself, I've got nothing to complain about because I've got children, and I've got this, and I've got a chair that I can rest on. It's the simple things in life that makes us realize how fortunate and how blessed and how favored we are in this lifetime. Now, allow me to speak from my perspective as a human being, not as a Muslim, not as anything, just as a human being. And the reason I say that is because every human being has a purpose in this life. Now, the greatest task in this life is to find that purpose. Once we find that purpose, we know that we are living. And when we are living, we are able to smile despite the challenges that God gives us. Because every challenge cometh from thee. En elke ding wat ons verbystap, if we look properly against the walls just in this room, if you look next to you, you tell yourself, at least I didn't lose this sister of mine or this brother of mine. At least the ECD center didn't crumble during this terrible time. Because I can tell you, in the industry that I am in, and I love to speak about this because it always is a weight in my heart. I will say that I've been blessed to be a performer, a singer, for the last 23 years. And for the 23 years, I've had the opportunity to perform for the King of Malaysia, for the President of South Africa, for Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, alongside a Grammy Award winner like Celine Dion. I sang alongside Tevin Campbell, Brown Eyed Girl. I sang with All for One. And I tell myself, because I'm still in conversation with people like Tevin Campbell and All for One and Delius Tim Kennedy and all of these people. And except for myself, even they who are Grammy Award winners are still complaining of the fact that COVID-19 has affected them harshly. Remember, we all know the more we have, the more responsibilities we have. So the challenge is not any different. So for us and for me, in the last 2 years of my life, God has been there every single step of my way. And I can tell you, and there's people who are witnesses in this room, who can tell you that every single thing that my hand has been placed on, God's hand has been right on top of mine. With all of the success stories that we've been able to celebrate, today we sit here and we celebrate the lives that were fought, even during the times and the people we have lost, we celebrate them. And the reason we celebrate them is because me, as an ambassador for the Red Cross Children's Hospital Trust, as an ambassador for human beings in South Africa, as a face for local arts, as a face for us as people of color, I stand there and I tell myself, no matter what, I will face another day and I will do it smiling. Let me say that music has always been able to sort of give me that extra push as to what I need to do. And things have changed, and they know me like this. So there was a song that we were supposed to do when the candle gets lit. And I thought, there's a better song. But if I could just say this, if you can just listen to this lyrics and just think that it comes from your heart as a person who have to deal with a child that doesn't belong to you. Maar as jou kind, it's your child, but it doesn't belong to you. If you hit that child today, then the mom is going to come and scold or do something or whatever it is. But you know that it is your responsibility to say, if I could, I'd protect you from the sadness in your eyes. I'd give you courage in a world of compromise. Yes, I would, if I could. It's songs like that that makes me think I have a purpose in this life. So I decided to go with a different song when that happens. That is why I could give that away even earlier. For me, as a human being, I want to say to every teacher, because that is what we are, to every educator, to every person who forms part of this South African Congress, to every single one of you, my heart is crying with you every step of the way, because I know your fight. I know what you are begging for. My life, I came from a school this morning where I spent 2.5 hours. 7:30 I was there. My kinders is by die skool vandag en ek is by die skool. And I said to those grade 7 children who are about to write their final exam, Now remember, we have had one of the worst times in academics ever. Ek staan daar en ek sê vir die kinders met trane in my oë en ek sê vir hulle, I said to them, no matter what, you will make a success of your life because this country is dependent on the future and you are the future. And without you as the ECD, we cannot have grade 7s and matriculants because we need you first. So thank you for creating that pavement. Thank you for creating that light. Thank you for creating that light in the deepest and darkest tunnel. Thank you for creating the road that these children need to walk on. Because I know what it takes for a child who lives in a shack, who lives in a hockey, who lives in a street or in a home, wherever they come from. I know what it takes for that mother to get onto a taxi or onto a train. And I know what it takes of you to climb onto a taxi and onto a train to be here, to make sure that those children are seen to. So I thank you, and I know that my heart fights and bleeds with you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I have People sometimes forget that I'm not just a singer. My real talent, and I always say this, is only the talent that God gave me. And if He decides that He wants to take it away from me tomorrow, then I must find another way, because there will be another way. I want to say this today. The other talent that I deeply possess within myself, that God has given me, is the ability to transcend a word that is sincere, that is truthful, that is touching to every single person who sits across from my eyes. Always remember that our most powerful tool that we have is the purpose and the truth that we live. Without any further ado, I want to do something that is not planned, but it is a song that will take you to the depths of your soul. So Zuko, if you could play the song. It goes like this. To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, and to learn, clear and chase from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star. No matter how hopeless no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into air for the heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest, and the world could be better for this, and that one man scorned and covered with scars, still strong with these last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable, the unreachable, the unreachable star. Yes, I'm a stream, the impossible dream. Yes, and I know ways to reach the unreachable star.
I'm crying with you, Mujahid. So guys, I think I just need to tell you why this brother of mine is so blessed. With this amazing talent he has. He's not charging us a half a cent for doing this today. So this is his way of giving back to his community, and not just to the community, to our ECD sector. So I want you to put your hands together for my brother, Mujahid John. Thank you.
It's okay, it's okay. There's a light, a certain kind of light that heaven shined on me. I want my life to be, to live it with you, to live with you. 'Cause baby, you don't know what it's like. Baby, you don't know what it's like to love somebody, the way I love you. You could reach me by railway, You can reach me by railway. You can reach me by caravan. You could reach me with your mind. I don't care how you get here, just get here if you can.
I'm going to invite all of them to your show. Okay, so you
Thank you.
guys need to come and support him wherever he goes. Okay. Unfortunately, we have to continue with our program.
I'm going to continue with your program after I do one more. I'm joking. But let's do this together. Just let's do this together. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you cared enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Sing that again. You and for me. You and for me. You and for me. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right. No, but we must stop this now because I love you to feel. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for, we're going to ask to be addressed by the beautiful, beautiful Maruldia Tape to please join us. Sorry for going into your time like that.
Good afternoon. Mujahid, you just broke our heart. To dream the impossible dream. La la, la 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 la. That's my introduction to what I want to say. Dream, dream, keep on dreaming. 27 years ago, in 1994, I didn't look like this. I was so young and beautiful and an activist, and now we are so old. And I think I must sing you the song of Charles Aznavour. Young. You're going to sing it for me. Right. 1994. Imagine. I'm playing with you now. ECD stuff. Imagine 1994, in this building, we just came into a democracy. All political parties were in here, not the EFF, the National Party, the ANC, I don't know what we had at that time, but you know what? We put in ECD and it became the political party of the day. 1994, here at Grassroots, our director at that time, very vibrant, Ginny Ricards, had us all together, and this is where we had discussions about giving birth to South African Congress for ECD. Strangely enough, I was the administrator on this job, and my job was also, besides Port Elizabeth, I had to bring in 3,500 people who came from throughout the country, 9 provinces, to UWC, and we celebrated the birth of SA Congress. Take your age. I'm doing a maths program with you. Take your age, deduct 27 from it. How old were you? You don't need to tell me. Young menses that probably found themselves in an ECD grade R, isn't it? We were all together, 3,500 strong, at UWC, each province with their flags, and we stood together with government at the time to say ECD is where it's all started for the children. In remembrance of that time, having gone through 27 years of early childhood development, we also saw that SA Congress diminished a little bit. They became weak as the years went by. But today I can proudly say to you, I'm standing here and I'm taking off my hat to everyone who is in front and who are holding the flame of ECD and keeping it burning. That grade R child who could have been 6 in 1994, how old will that child be? 35? Maybe upwards? Go and look up that child. That child, through you, had possibly made a success of himself or herself. Like Melissa had said, never, never, never undermine the role that you are playing. You're not only teachers, but you have to facilitate that knowledge that you're imparting with to your fellow teachers, to those children. Go and look them up. In 1974, Grassroots went into a partnership with Golden Arrow bus services. And many of your children of those times, of those years, had been taken out with that adventure bus. Go and look them up. Go and look them up and find out what had happened to that grade R child. One of the volunteer bus drivers today is high up in Golden Arrow, but that driver was at that time a grade R child. Look how strong ECD is. In not wanting to talk too much, I want to remember people like the Daniel Plaatjes of the day, the Ismaili Isaacs of the day, the Roy Padayachi of the day, the Dr. Mandla Shabalala of the day. We all had to mobilize and stood strong for early childhood development. If I might just bring it to myself, why would I want to be in early childhood development since the 1970s? And you can figure out how old I am. I don't care. So many people had gone through our hands. So many children had gone through your hands. And today I want to say, congratulations, SA Congress. Take it forward. Take ECD forward. Many a time, I serve as your mentor, and I hope that whatever I talk, whatever I do, whatever yes comes out of my mouth, comes from my heart and touches your heart. And what you do touches the parents' heart. And what we do together touches the children in a way that they will become strong South African citizens. Honest, humble South African citizens that can contribute to our country, the country that is going through so much of difficulties today. And this is my joke to myself. And I'm sharing it with you. As directors of organizations, we look and we are on the lookout for money all the time. And we must make that half a cent turn into a 10 rand. You can do it. And if I can recommend to government what they should do with their budgets, I can tell them, employ ECD directors and staff, and you will have a better country. Thank you so much. Thank you once again. I wish you all the very best. Western Cape Chair, Ms. Lutuli, all the very best. You're carrying a huge load on your shoulders, but just know we behind you. To the Vice President, we behind you. Government is behind you. I just wanted to say, yes, we have seen government come on board. We have seen them grow. And they couldn't grow without partnering with ourselves. So partnering is big. Congress, all the very best. You are here to stay. Make it work. Make it work for us. Thank you so much.
Guys, my eliminatory phones on silent. Sure. Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think the right word to define what today was about is, in my heart, I feel that the right word is rewarding. It felt that we were all rewarded with a gift today without receiving anything physical in our hands. So I would like to say thank you on behalf of myself, but for now, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for another address by Tracy Fortune.
Good afternoon, everyone. Wow, what a day this has been. What an event. To SA Congress, thank you. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of this and for hosting this for our sector. It was so needed. This year has been so different. These past almost 2 years has been so different for many of us. And we haven't had this in a while. And this has just been what we needed at this time. So thank you so much for that. Because it's just been amazing that we could come together today. And yes, we are remembering what we have lost and those we have lost, but we're also celebrating their lives and all the things that have happened that have been positive over the past year. Many of us have lost so much. We have lost livelihoods, we have lost loved ones. We've even lost our ability to mourn and to celebrate in the way that we used to. And for many of us, we couldn't hold services like this. It has been isolating, and we have been on our own for a lot of the time. And for those who have been ill and lost loved ones, we couldn't even be with them during their illness. We couldn't even say goodbye. And this has only added to the trauma of the loss. And some people have been faced with multiple losses, not just one family member. 2, 3 family members or more have lost their livelihoods at the same time. And it's been such a hard and difficult time for so many people. And it's today and days like these that we are saying to those people that we acknowledge you, we support you, and we are with you in your loss. And as you said earlier, Pastor Latuli said, it's a bittersweet day. And it's bittersweet because the pain of the loss is something you'll always carry with you. But today is also heartwarming because we remember them, we acknowledge them, and we honor them. And we are saying they are not forgotten. They have played an incredible role in our lives, and their legacy will continue to live on through all of us. And I just love this quote. For me, it's like the best way we can honor those that we love is to remember the things that we love the most about them and to be that. And so while COVID has taken so much from us and in many ways has resulted in a collective trauma that will remain with us for years to come, let us also hold on to the things that we have not lost. We have not lost the memories of those that we loved. We have not lost the special times that we've had together. We have not lost their legacies, and we will continue to keep them close. We have also not lost our humanity, our Ubuntu. We have not lost our compassion. We have not lost our empathy or our kindness. And we have not lost our ability to connect and to reach out to each other. And it has been this very connection in our darkest of times that has helped us through. It is the collective emails, the messages, the food, the parcels, the meals that we've all received that have enabled us to continue to smile. It is those shared memories that have enabled, and the stories that have enabled us to continue to laugh. And so, over the past 2 years, we have seen in this sector so much of that collective giving and togetherness. And as a sector, we now have so much less than we've had before because we've lost so much. But we have seen people in the sector do everything to ensure that no one has been left behind. And we've also seen how you have lived your slogan of putting the child first. And so we've seen this through our increased advocacy, through our activists, vir al julle mense wat in die voorste ry sit. And through the reallocation of funding from our donors, through the extra food, the resources, the support, and just being there for each other. Level 4 and Level 5 did not stop ECD principals and practitioners from reaching out to families and being there and offering them and ensuring that that child had that meal. It didn't stop them from reaching out and ensuring that children were still stimulated. It did not stop our field workers from going into homes and delivering food parcels and messages to families of encouragement and support. And while the sector has literally been shut down, it has not stopped us. And it did not stop the kindness, the generosity, and the love that has been so manifest in this sector through our colleagues and our friends. And so while we are united in our collective trauma, we are also united in our humanity and the vision that we share as a sector. And I think that at this time in our history, we realize that we need each other to bring about the change that we need to see. And Mujahid, you use the word reward today as being a reward, but it has also for me been uplifting, it's been motivational, and it has been an inspiration. And it's been like what they call chicken soup for the soul. And I think that what so many of us needed. And 11/11 today is a day of remembrance, but it is also a day of new beginnings. And so while COVID has made many of us tired and bone weary, when we light this candle later, I pray that it will be a catalyst for us, a renewal for us, and to reignite the spark in all of us the passion, the commitment, the dedication, and the desire to continue to run that race, to continue to fight the fight for all our children in this country. Because I think the one thing that we do know in all of this is that none of us are alone. And so to SA Congress, I thank you. And I ask and pray that you will continue to grow from strength to strength. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Auntie Maroldia and Tracy, for those encouraging words. And I think because we were all part of the same struggles, and we were there just to go through it. So thank you just for encouraging us for the way forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have just a 5-minute break. We just want to set up the slideshow. So you can have maybe a body break, and then please return as soon as the 5 minutes is over. So, because we're going to start with the slideshow. Okay, thank you.
She was gripping on me tight, screaming Hercules. Got me in the club looking for a new love, someone help me please. Baby, why you doing this? Why you doing this to me, girl? Not to be dramatic, but I wanna die. This bitch got me paying her rent, paying for trips, diamonds on her neck, diamonds on her wrist. And here I am all alone. I'm so cold, you got me out here. Smoking out the window of the Benzo. Singing, how could you do this to me? How could you do this? Alright, that girl belongs to one thing for sure. I was wrong. She belongs to everybody. Yes, she belongs to everybody. Look here, baby, I hope you find whatever it is that you need. But I also hope that your trifling ass is walking around barefoot in these streets. Look out! Girl, it breaks my heart that you went right here with me. Now I gotta give you back to the city. Oh, you got me speaking out the window. Singing, how could you do this to me? How could you do this, baby? Alright, that girl belongs to only you. But I was wrong. She belongs to If you don't like my color, the joke is on you. Yes, I'm black and that's my power. I got it from my mama. Yeah. My name is Africa. I am the future and there's nowhere better. I'll sing it loud and strong, dancing to the drum, with heart filled with love, yeah. Onkuziwe, abangani bamanga. Ongitsheliwe, thiwa mina bazongidlala. Ongikuziwe, abangani bamanga. Ongitsheliwe, thiwa mina bazongidlala. Ngibatshela ukuthi ngithele. Molo, mhlobo wami, molo. Molo, mhlobo wami, molo. Ngibatshela ukuthi ngithele. Molo, mhlobo wami, molo. Molo, mhlobo wami, molo. Ngiyawabona ngaphesheya kwencome. Ngiyawabona ngaphesheya komfula. Bayangishisa, bayangishisa. Bayangiplanela, bayangiplanela. Bafungile, bathi nami baqedile, baqedile. Bangihlele endlinini, ngathi ukhulu ngikhulele ensimini. Ongikuziwe, abangani bamanga. Ongitsheliwe, thiwa mina bazongidlala. Ongikuziwe, abangani bamanga. Ongitsheliwe, thiwa mina bazongidlala. Ngibatshela ukuthi ngithele. Molo, mhlobo wami, molo. Molo, mhlobo wami, molo. Molo, mhlobo wami, molo. Hey, abafana wena, nathi nganyisaba phela. Umvundla sizonganda wena webo. Zane kecha kuziliwe, mama pengubani ozilela. Bongaba sekhaya ngokuqwashisa ngani. Bongaba ngasekho, ngizozilami. Bongaba sekhaya ngokuqwashisa ngani. Bongaba ngasekho, ngizozilami. Ongikuziwe, abangani bamanga. Ongitsheliwe, thiwa mina bazongidlala. Ongikuziwe, abangani bamanga. Ongitsheliwe, thiwa mina bazongidlala. Ngibatshela ukuthi ngithele. Molo, mhlobo wami, molo. Molo, mhlobo wami, molo. Ngibatshela ukuthi ngithele. Molo, mhlobo wami, molo. Molo, mhlobo wami, molo. Thatha inhliziyo unike omunye ngoba ngisakwazi ukuyiphatha kahle. Thatha inhliziyo unike omunye ngoba mina ngisakwazi ukuyiphatha.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We ask that everybody kindly take their seats as we would like to proceed with the final segment of today's function. Once again, on behalf of the South African Congress for Early Childhood Development here in Western Cape, we say thank you very, very much to each and every one of you. And of course, the official vote of thanks will be done shortly. But for now, we're going to ask that we show some respect as we take this moment to give some reflection on the people that we have lost along this beautiful, beautiful path of life. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Nazneen Lehman, if you could please give her a beautiful round of applause. You can light. Please put the phones on silent.
From a distance, the world looks blue and green, and the snow-capped mountains white. From a distance, the ocean meets the stream, and the eagle takes to fly. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the voice of hope, it's the voice of peace, it's the voice of every man. From a distance, we all have enough, and no one is in need. There are no guns, no bombs, and no disease, no hungry mouths to feed. From a distance, we are instruments marching in a common band, playing songs of hope, playing songs of peace, playing songs of every man. God is watching us, God is watching us, God is watching us from a distance. From a distance, you look like my friend, even though we are at war. From a distance, I just cannot comprehend what all this fighting's for. From a distance, there is harmony, and it echoes through the land. It's the hope of hopes, it's the love of loves, it's the song of every man. Every man. It's the hope of hopes, it's the love of love. This is the song of every man. God is watching us, God is watching us, God is watching us from a distance. God is watching us, God is watching us, God is watching us from a distance. Thank you.
Just a poem that will carry us through. Our lives go on without you, but nothing is the same. We have to hide our heartaches when someone speaks your name. You did so many things for us. Your heart was kind and true. And when we needed to talk to someone, we could always count on you. The special years will not return. When we were all together, but with the love within our hearts, you will talk with us forever. Thank you. Sorry. The candle was lit while the slideshow was going. Perhaps we did not have an opportunity to say why the candle had to be lit. We are saying that we want their spirits to live on. We want their light to continue to light our paths too. Because when they are in spirit and when they are in the beyond, we believe and know that they are very much close to us. And whatever that we shall do going forward, we remember that they continue to be part of us. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
We know that everything has a beginning and everything has an ending. In this life, we are guaranteed one thing. But we always have to understand that in that very last moments of our life, we will reflect back and say, we have done what we needed to do. May my words, may the pastor's words, may every person who addressed us here today, may the words that you have in your heart that is sincere and truthful and empowering to every single person that you cross paths with, may that live forever. I thank you from the core of my heart, and I pray that better days are still coming. Ladies and gentlemen, we say thank you to each and every one of you. We're going to ask Theodora one more time to please come and do the official vote of thanks.
So, na al die trane. Ne, I have to come up and put on a smile and say that it is well.
It is well with my soul.
It is well. It is well. And yes, we needed this opportunity to reflect and also go beyond that and say it is well. It is well. The Bible tells us that no situation remains the same because it is not supposed to remain the same. So this too shall pass. Maybe I will start by saying wow, wow, and wow. Please give yourselves a round of applause. This was indeed an event that we will never forget. It was the first, but I know that not the last. Beautiful. I am at awe at the responses that we've received, because you must remember, every good thing is born from a seed that comes from an individual, and that individual then shares that dream. Absolutely. And then it does not become a dream anymore, because you've got to wake up and realize that dream. Planning this event was not easy at all. It was not easy. I think because of the fact that we are different personalities And we all have our prides, ne? Not in a bad way. But all of us, the one person prefers this type of color, flowers, and the next person prefers this or that. Somehow, we've got to come to a common ground where we remove ourselves and our egos and we start to say, why are we doing this? I think that was one of the things that really kept us grounded when we did a quick introspection and we asked ourselves, why are we doing this? And quickly, we had to look deep and dig deep and say, whether I like it or not, it has to happen. We prayed much about it because we had to. It was important that we pray about it. Otherwise, it would never been the success that it is today. The timing was impeccable. The timing was impeccable. Because if we had to actually do this event any other time, it would not have the same impact that it had today. I must also confess and say that without the following people, this event would not have been possible. Please allow me to acknowledge the following people. Mrs. Maridia Tape. Sometimes words fail us when we have to acknowledge people like you, because you look around all over and you will find one of a kind, and that will be somebody that will feel the same way that you feel about certain things. That will be somebody who will always be there to support when support is needed. That will be one person that will not ask questions, but that will be the person that will say, which way are we going? And that will be the person that will say, I am in, irrespective of the how and the when, but I am there with you. So for that, I salute you. Tracy, I always brag when I speak to people and say that government can do this much, but NGOs can do that much. And this is what we have learned as we approach the ECD space and the NGO space, where we acknowledge that no man is an island. As much as we start these relationships and network building, trying to find our feet, trying to do what needs to be done for the benefit of a child, but we cannot do it on our own. And organizations like your L-Roots and your Grassroots are the organizations that have said all the time, we are here to carry you to the next level, because we would not be able to even have this. If I can begin to even put the monetary value to what is happening here, I wouldn't even go that far. From the bottom of our hearts, as this provincial body, you know you mean the world to us. And you get those individuals that jump in at the last minute because they see that this ship is about to sink, and they realize that this ship cannot sink. The only ship that sank then was the Mendi, and this one cannot sink. Enwin Pump Services. Yesterday we were here and we were still counting and looking at different things. Now you would hear when I said Enwin Pump Services, I have moved away from the NGO space. We are crossing borders, we're going to private. Wow! I still and strongly believe that this ECT sector, we are still going to make inroads. We need to build these meaningful relationships in order for this sector of ours to be recognized. He's not here, but I know that he is watching and he knows that we are acknowledging him. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No. Khairu Mr. Johnston from the Mustarafin Foundation. If we can sit here and not have anything, we will be so grumpy. So now we are sitting here, but we know the nose is saying something. Something is smelling, something is cooking. So already we are getting excited. Like I said, These are the organizations that have a foot in the ECD space. They are making a difference in their own ways, and we are tapping into those to make sure that we make a success of what we are doing. Mustarafin Foundation, a job well done. We salute and thank you. I have never seen a man cry this much in my entire life. I've always thought that I am married to one, but you, Mujahid, wow. And it's so good sometimes to see men show emotion, because it proves that you are human beings. And for this sector of ours to find men that are able to stand behind us and support us, to find men that believe in our cause, to find men that say that I feel with you. I'm not only here, but I feel with you. And we could see it all the step of the way. When you stood here, when you did what God has given you, when you performed, you were not just doing it because you've been promised that you are going to be given something. You know that we've got nothing to give you. But there's somebody who has given you and who will continue to give you. And we ask God to open every way for you. Bless you and bless you. Thank you so much. Ooh, Spencer. I have never experienced any event that is flawless in terms of sound. I mean, I can go pa and there's no background, there is nothing. It is so professional that I would encourage everyone that is seated here, if you would like to make use of them, please let us support them. If they were prepared and willing to actually do this for free of charge, may genade, then we can support them. No. Hi, Cristiano and Ness, what do I say? And we're hearing things like the ECD sector, yes, has struggles, but the entertainment industry is no better. As people that have to think daily, what is it that I'm going to put on the table for my family? To have to depend and rely on the good hearts and the goodness of people. We can only say that we pray that our good Lord does not sleep when it comes to your side. May his face continue to shine upon you. And may you continue to do what you do to the best of your ability. Before the speeches, before anything that happened here, when you serenaded us with what is in you, already we felt the calmness within our souls and hearts. Bless you and bless you. Thank you very much. My backbone. My backbone. By association, you are SA Congress. And this is not a question, but this is a bold statement that whenever we need you as this body, you will always be available. And sometimes it won't necessarily be to open with a prayer or to share beautiful words. Sometimes we go through so much that we will just need somebody to speak to. And we know that you will be there for that, to counsel us, to make sure that we are once again better human beings that can go back and give back to those young persons. Because when we are broken, then there is nothing positive that we can give them. But we do know and believe that with people like you behind us, the sky is the limit. Thank you very much. Last but not least, When everybody looks at me, I suppose they see this beautiful soul that does wonderful things. Amen. And they don't understand that half of the things that seem to be done by me is not even me. POB, please rise. POB, please rise. I call them the A-team. I call them my backbone. I call them my pillar of strength. I call them my everything. Because if I start from here and I move all the way down, if I must share with everybody here the strength in each and every person that is standing here, you will be so surprised. The strength and what makes this organization provincially to be so strong is the fact that we have learned to acknowledge and embrace each other's gifts and talents. We understand that teamwork makes dream work. If I must do it alone, I will fall and I will fail. But because I've got these capable individuals flagging me, wow, I can go to war. And when I move with such conviction and pride, because I know that when I'm facing that way, you've got my back. Yes. And that is what this province is about. We are not claiming to be the Miss Know-it-all, but we are saying that we are never too old to learn from one another and embrace one another. I love you with my heart, and this you know. I fight with you when I want to and when the opportunity presents. But it is all for the benefit of the organization. And you never look at me and say to me, you are the youngest and you're the grootste mond, but you will just carry on. The respect that I get from you is phenomenal. I've got no words for you guys. A job well done. We have pulled it off. Thank you so much. And to the broader SA Congress community, this is only the beginning. And from here, we are going places. Watch the space. But don't get off yet, because the train is moving. Don't jump. Rather come on board. Alicia, where are you? Our membership officer is right there. So if you feel that you have not renewed your membership and you need to renew your membership, Alicia is there and will assist you even with the Google form, because ons is mos kwaai soos daai, nee, kwaai lappies. Ons werk nie meer met papiere en so aan nie. Ons het nou die Google vorm. Alles is not so blank, blank, blank. Ne? Enkosi kakhulu, enkosi, ningandiyekeleli ndime ndodwa. Asiyo yam ndodwa, yeyethu sonke. Ukuze izwi lethu livakale, izawufuneka sime kunye. Sisuse inhlebendwano, sisuse imilo, sisuse ukungavani, sibheke phambili for the benefit of umntana wasemzantsi. Ningandiyekeleli, ndinida nina nibe semva kwam. Sihambe sibheke phambili. Sorry, I don't want, sorry, jammer, the last bit. To our MC, say it so gebieve. I'm not sure what we were trying to do. Die ander ene het so gehuil en gechunk die hele tyd, en die ander ene het so gebieve, but we've got it all under control. So thank you. The A team, the Dream Team, Khalas.
Thank you very much. I'm going to ask Karima if she would like to do the final bit.
Good afternoon, everybody. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is now unprepared, so what I'm going to speak now is from the heart. Who's thanking this lady? The secretary is calling the chair. She was voted in as chair in March of last year. I just saw this vibrant lady. We were dancing on the floor. I thought she was crazy. But I could see passion. I could see someone that's going to take Western Cape places. And boy, she has met whatever plans and goals that she planned in her mind. I feel that she has met it. And let me also say that I'm one of her challengers. She knows what I'm talking about, but this is what it is about. We have been put into a packet. COVID hit. We didn't have a chance to do orientation. We came from all different worlds, all of us. And we started meeting on virtual. Some of us didn't even know, what is Zoom? Who's Zoom? Where's Zoom? And then now it's Teams. And now it's Google. People don't even want to fill in a form because they get horrified because they must fill in Google. But this, through her leadership and through her knowledge of a world that she's come from, which I know is government. So she understands the makings and the workings and the thought of government. And she steered us and is still steering us. Not only for Mitchell's Plain, yeah, not only for Western Cape, but for national, because we're going there. We are planning a national march, people, before the 1st of April, if we can, before the migration shift. And who is going to lead us to the union buildings? So Lady Theodora, Lady Chair, from the bottom of my heart, and I am a very emotional kind of person, but in any case, from the bottom of my heart, I respect a person that could lead me, but I'm very strong-willed and stubborn at times. And she's led me and she's taught me, and I believe that she's going to lead all of us and she's going to teach all of us further than what we ever thought that we're going to reach. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, from myself, thank you very, very much. Nou, ek was gevra om dit te doen, even though this song is like an anthem to me, en ek is al siek en sat van die number. And I've literally been doing this song for more than 12 years. The reason I've been doing it for more than 12 years is Gaat sit, sê die mense, gaat sit. Come inside, come. Come, we've got 5 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen. Just give us that 5 minutes. So, this next song is a song that I was asked to perform for the King of Malaysia for their 50 years of independence. This song is also a song that was requested by the President of South Africa for me to perform it for him. And so I feel I'm going to do it for ECD today. And this song is simply the best. Call you when I need you. My heart's on fire. I want to see everybody's hands. You can get up if you like. I said you come to be wild and wild. Then you come to me. You said, give me everything I need. I
said you kept me a lifetime of promises and a world of dreams. Hey! Speak a language of love like you know what it means. Then I can't be wrong. Take my heart and make it stronger, baby. You're simply the best, and you better than all the rest. You better than anyone, baby, than anyone that ever met. Now, I am stuck on your heart, you hang on every word you say. Ooh, you tear us apart. Baby, I would rather be dead. Each time you leave me, I start losing control. Now you're walking away with my heart and my soul. No, 'cause I can feel it even when I'm alone. Oh, baby, don't let go. Thank you very